Okay, welcome once again in our next video. This is a continuation of the other videos that I have already made. This is discussing the 4 reminders on how to create accurate journal entries using the T account. So if you haven't seen the other 2 videos, I am requesting you to go back and look at them so that you will know that how we selected the T account, or how we choose a method that is more understandable for the student. No? So we have the 4 reminders in coming up with accurate journal entries. The first one is the familiarity with the business equation. So at the board, you see there the business equation. The business equation is assets is equivalent to liabilities plus owner's equity. So there is an equal sign, no, between asset and liabilities plus owner's equity. In other words, whatever will be the amount of the assets will always equivalent to the amount of liabilities plus owner's equity. So at the end of the transaction, at the end of the period, I mean, whatever economic events the business encounters during the period, the business equation will always remain equal. Okay? So if it is not equal at the end of the period, you have to go back and check what made it unequal. So that is accounting. So for the default setting, I mean, which is the number 2 reminder, a familiarity with the default setting, it is important that you will know what what are the accounts that are located at the left side and at the right side. That is a very important reminder so that you will understand or you will know how to make accurate journal entries. So start with a business equation and then for the default setting. For the default setting of the asset, they have left side, they are located at the left side and they have the debit side, or they are located at the left side or debit side. For liabilities and owner's equity, they are located at the right side or they are being credited. Now, for the owner's equity, however, the owner's equity is a little challenging or complicated because owner's equity is has accounts that are not really credited, but they are debited at the time that they are transacted. So for the owner's equity, what we're going to debit or place at the left side are drawings and expenses. But for revenue and capital, it is always credited or placed at the right side. Okay, so no question about that. If you encounter a drawing or an expenses, do not you forget about the default setting of owner's equity because they are always debited. What is true to that default setting only is the revenue and the capital. Okay, now here is a question. Are there times that asset, liabilities, and owner's equity are being transferred to the other side? For the owner's equity, that is the ones that I have mentioned, those are the default setting and those are their placement on the business equation. But for the asset, if they are increased, or if we're going to talk about default setting, they are always placed at the left side. So default setting, and if they are increased, for example, in the transactions, if you're going to read a transaction, if you incur transactions that involve assets, if you think that they are increased, like for example, the acquisition of assets, they are placed at the left side. But when you are going to sell an asset and there is a decrease of asset, this is the time now that you are going to place them at the right side. So they are decreased. So they are not already located at the very left side, but they are going to transfer to the right side because they are being decreased. Just like if you're going to sell an asset. Just like the liabilities, if you incur a liability, you're going to think about the default setting or they are increased. So you're going to place them at the right. Yes, at the right. But once that you're going to pay or to settle that liability, you are now going to transfer it at the debit side. Okay? So let us try to summarize our lesson. For our business equation, you have asset is equivalent to liabilities plus owner's equity. And for the default setting of asset is left side or debit. Liabilities has credit or right side, including the owner's equity, except for the drawing and expenses, which are placed at the left side. So every time there is a decrease also, just like asset, it's time now to transfer them to the right side. And for liabilities, if they are decreased, just like the settlement of a note or settlement of a trade payable, they are transferred to the left side. Now for the account title, this is just considered a very small reminder, but it costs a lot. It costs a lot. Why? Because some of my students, for 26 years, I always observe that when uh, when somebody is a beginner in accounting, he is confused in deciding what account title he or she is going to use in the transactions. Now, the answer, so a very good reminder is that when you are going to formulate an account title, it should be in the form of a noun. Okay. Noun, name of person, name of place, or name of thing. Now, in accounting, you usually encounter um, name of the person or name of a thing, no? Just like property and equipment, merchandise inventory, you have marketable securities, accounts payable, you have Mr. A capital, Mr. A drawing. So you remember this one that it should be in a noun form and they should be starting with a capital letter. Okay, so those are the important things to be reminded of, that when you are going to formulate an account title, it should be in the form of a noun and the first letter should be capitalized. So that's just very easy. So I hope that you're going to remember this one. So our reminder number one, number two, and number three are already fulfilled in this video. So the next video will be the most complicated, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. You are going to enjoy it. Okay? So you will enjoy. So I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope you're going to follow this channel. Thank you so much and see you around.